Happy fucking New Year.
Yeah.
I hope all of your dreams come true in 2022. But at the very least,
2022.
I did not just say 2020. Oh my God. I did not just fucking say 2020.
How are you? Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everyone.
Happy New Year, you guys.
I hope
me too. Wow, 1 million people tested positive today of COVID.
Oh,
a million.
1 million.
1 million today.
So like our last episode prior to Christmas, we basically just talked about Omicron the entire time and how much we were dreading it. And so we were right to dread it.
Did you get it?
Nope, haven't gotten it yet.
Me neither. Me neither.
Knock on wood.
She's coming for us.
Yeah, I mean,
I was knocked on wood too.
I think so.
I mean, listen, I feel like at this point today, I'm like, oh, this is just inevitable.
I feel like it's inevitable. I also feel like every time I have a headache, I'm like, this is it. And then I'm like, then I take a test if I'm lucky enough to be able to get my hands on a test and it's been negative. And
I was
then
trying
I'm
to explain to Caissie that in Arizona, where I was with my family over the holidays, like tests were flowing like water at the, at the drugstore. It was flowing like, well, not water in the desert, but like it was definitely, there were so many tests. There were Binex tests, and Caissie and I actually got to see each other.
Yes. Where you had some tests from Arizona so that I could take a test because I couldn't get a test in Los Angeles.
But I also had my Q machine that we've talked about before that I love. That now I've been seeing more and more people posting about.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's getting out there. It's getting out there.
I'm going to tell you guys, it ain't cheap.
No.
I don't want any texts about how it's prohibitively expensive. I get it.
It's like a membership kind of deal because I looked it up, of course, because after you let me use it to take a PCR test because I couldn't get a PCR test here in Los Angeles. I looked it up and you have to pay, I think, for a year for a membership and you get like a certain amount of tests that you're able to do within the year. But like if there's like an important event, say like a small family reunion or something, and you can afford it, it might be worth it. But I get it. I get that, tests are in high demand. I also get people not wanting to spend $30 every fucking time they want to do something and I get that some people don't have $30 to spend every time they want to take a test that is whatever, 84% accurate. So I'm at the point now where I'm like, every time I have a headache, I'm like, I should take a test or like it's inevitable. I shouldn't even bother finding out. I should just like stay in my house. And I'm also at the point where when I test negative, I'm like, maybe I don't have Omicron. Maybe I have like the next variant that nobody knows about yet.
No, somebody just said today, I heard someone say they just talked about a new variant on the news that they think they've discovered. Listen,
and
guys,
I also have seen people talking about Flurona, which is flu and corona at the same time.
Real talk, I forgot to get a flu shot this year.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Well, it's never too late.
That's not great.
I get a flu shot every time I go into a pharmacy, which makes it sound like I'm getting one every few days. And it's really that I don't go into pharmacies very often. But I'm like, if I'm in a pharmacy and that pharmacy it's not jumping, I will ask for whatever vaccines I can now at this point.
Well, listen, flights have been canceled. People have been stranded. People have been stranded in foreign countries because they've tested positive.
Have you
been
wherever
reading, you guys are, what?
Have you been reading about Virginia, the highway in Virginia?
No, what happened?
Okay. So I don't know what will have happened by
tomorrow. Wednesday?
Tomorrow, but we're recording this on Tuesday. But
this is Tuesday. I forgot.
Yeah. But overnight, last night, people, including Senator Tim Kaine were stranded on the highway for like 19 hours.
What?
Because of snow and accidents.
Oh, no. I got logged out of Twitter.
Oh, my God. Best thing that could ever happen to you.
Well, yeah. And you know me and passwords. Who fucking knows? Not a chance. Actually, I got a funny text from Ray because I was like, I want to do like this. Whatever. It doesn't even matter. I wanted him to order a thing for me online.
Sure.
And he was like, okay, great. It looks like you already have an account. Do you know the password? And I just texted back. I was on the plane. And I just texted back, Raymond, what do you think? Do you think I know the fucking password? And he's like, no, I don't know why I asked. I'm sorry. I don't know my passwords.
Whenever I want to do anything online, I just build in the extra time to set a new password. I build in the extra time to say I forgot my password, to get the email, click the link, reset the password, and that's my password for that time using it, and then I'll just get a new one next time.
Well, I had gone to Palm Springs for a little R&R.
Yes.
Where I got to see a few friends.
Yes.
Sans children after Christmas. And on my way to the airport Sunday morning at like literally 5 a.m., I was like, wait, why is it saying that my flight is not at 6:45 and it's at 1:35 p.m. because my flight had been canceled. And I didn't check because I'm not savvy like that. I don't know. I didn't.
You were that unplugged. You were that.
Like, I was very. There was no
vibing.
TV. I was painting. Caissie.
Yes.
I tried to paint last night. Guess what? Not the same.
You can't do it. Can't paint in New York
Also,
City.
like my children were screaming at me. There was like TV was on. I was like, ugh, this sucks. My painting career is ended. It just has to be something I'm going to have to do once a year. In the desert.
It'll take you a while to get good at it. Just doing it once a year, but worth it. It's worth it.
I mean,
I
really enjoyed it. I really liked my paintings.
I know we've talked about this before, but like when I would go visit Joan Rivers in her home, she had a beautiful large bathroom in her townhouse in New York City. And I would go sit on the edge of the tub while she painted and we would chat. She would do like oil paintings.
She painted while she was in the tub?
No. I would sit on the edge of the tub. She would just have like an easel set up in her bathroom because she
in her bathroom?
Yeah, the light the best in the bathroom.
Light. Well, that's another thing.
Yeah.
I'm still in the shitty fucking rental apartment that I can't wait to get out of. And the light here sucks so bad in this place.
It is
so there are going to be
dark.
some dark paintings if I ever finish this one. Yeah. I'm trying to log back into Twitter right now, just like on a lark. Oh, well, that's terrible. I hope everybody was okay. And nobody was like really, oh, God.
I hope so too. I saw Tim Kaine said that some people, I think from Florida, were passing out oranges. I saw that. That was heartwarming. A lot of people were giving wise advice about how to survive on the road and to like look for truckers, which, you know, that's not always a tip that you would know, I guess, when you
Wait, what do you mean you look for truckers?
People were saying look for truckers because they might have some of the things that you need. If you need someone that needs food, they carry food in their trucks and, you know, they might have extra supplies or first aid supplies.
That's a good idea.
They're on the road constantly. That's not something that I would have thought of. And then, you know, and then my mind always goes to like I was reading a thread of someone that was like going hour by hour and he was saying, it looks like we're stuck here for the night. Do I try to sleep or is it not good to sleep? Should I leave my car on or should I turn it off? It's 27 degrees. And I was just like, oh my God, this is the start of a horror movie. I won't be able to sleep.
What did the person do?
People said that, you know, you should generally try to conserve your resources, but you shouldn't let yourself freeze to death. And you can run your car to run the heat a little bit, but definitely make sure that like you're in an open area where the exhaust can escape because, you know, carbon monoxide, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, it's just an overall nightmare scenario for those poor people stuck on the highway. What's the longest you've ever been stuck on a highway somewhere?
Oh, I don't know. That's a great question. Like in traffic?
Yeah.
I mean, I lived in LA for 1 million years. So
Yeah.
I was stuck in bad traffic a lot.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I don't know. Sometimes like when I used to live on the other side of the west of the 405, if you had to get east of the 405 at a certain hour in the day, you could be in traffic for a minute, like a real long fucking time. And it was not pleasant. And I was always like really good at shortcuts. Before ways. Yeah.
I don't know if I ever told this story on the podcast before, but whatever. I-95 in Connecticut would get stopped up a lot for construction. If an accident occurred, they would tend to like shut down. When I used to come home from work at like midnight from Watch What Happens Live, they'd send me home in a car just because there weren't like trains home at that point. And very often just stuck for like a good hour to 2 hours sometimes on a like 1 hour trip home. But one time, I was at a party in the city and Michael Ian Black, performer, comedian, Ian Black was like, was there. And I'd never met him in person, but we had chatted on Twitter like pretty much daily for years. And I had avoided meeting him in the past because I can be a little shy around people that I know but don't know. And so he came up behind me at this party and he was like, I know this is weird, but you just have to turn around and say hi and then we'll have met in real life and then it won't be weird anymore. And I was like, okay, great. So we did. And then at the end of the night, I was trying to order a car to take me and my husband home. And he was like, hey, you live near me. Why don't I just drive you guys home? Like your home is on the way to my home. And which was so nice. It was so nice. And it was delightful. But we got stuck in traffic for, I'm not even joking, 3 hours. And I felt so bad for him because I just was like, he was trying to do this nice thing that should have taken 1 hour and it would have been so pleasant just to chit chat for 1 hour. But when you start to get onto hour 3 with someone that you never hung out with before in your life, in your tiny little sporty car, it was a lot. I felt bad. And I wanted to be, but there's nothing you can do. I wanted to be
like the beginning of a romantic comedy, if you ask me.
I mean, a very modern romantic comedy. My husband, Michael, and me. You know,
very modern,
very modern. But I felt so bad for him, and then I was just like, I mean,
he's fine.
Yeah, it's ultimately it was fine, and it didn't seem to harm our parasocial relationship in any way. But it did make me think that, you know, if anyone ever offers you a 1 hour ride home, do remember it could turn into 3+ hours.
Think about Gilligan's Island. You know what
I mean? And you're just trying to use some fucking coconuts to get the fuck out of there. And
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to the doctor. Ooh, it's 2:22 right now.
Oh,
I'm going to the doctor later.
For sinus follow-up?
Yeah. And I'll see what's going on with the neck things or whatever. Remember? He was like, you're swollen.
Yes. Yeah. It's never ending.
It's never ending. And we'll see if I go back to work this week.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Have you like touched base with anyone from work at all, or did you just turn it all off for the break?
Well, the girls and I have a text chain thing. So yeah, we talked a bit over the break, and it was Renee's birthday yesterday, which is very exciting. And also I need to go buy her a gift before Friday, before I see her on Friday. So that's something I need to do.
Yeah, I saw on Instagram, she looked like she had a fun New Year's celebration with her family.
She just lives the best life. I love Renee. She's just living it. I love her so much. She's so like Guys, did you listen to the episode where Renee Elise Goldsberry was our guest?
She was brilliant.
If not, it's worth going back. I'm just going to say it. Don't have to listen to the whole thing, but just skip to that interview with Renee. It's so good.
Yeah.
We should do that. We should do a best of.
A best of?
Yeah, we should do a clip show. We should have done a fucking clip show for New Year's Eve.
We should have done
for New Year's
show.
When Caissie and I saw each other, just full disclosure, I was like, bring your recording equipment. Maybe we can like do a little short New Year's bonus podcast, but then we didn't.
We didn't because we just hung out, which I kind of appreciated because I was like, we're just being in the moment and we haven't seen each other in a long time. And but that is also fuller disclosure why I think it took us so fucking long to get started this morning, because I think when I tried to plug the stuff back into my computer, because I always have it plugged into my computer and I never move it, my computer was like, I don't wanna. I just
not ready.
I'm still on break. Which I can identify with. I you know.
AG1. Everybody loves AG1. Right?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Well, guys, our next partner that we're talking about has a product that Caissie and I use literally every day. Caissie started using Athletic Greens AG1 because why, Case?
Just because I used to be on a regimen of taking so many vitamins and minerals. My doctor recommended it. And I was like, I'm spending half of my day just opening and closing these bottles. And then when AG1 came along, they sent us some of their product to try because they were going to advertise on the podcast. I took a look at it myself because, you know, I love science and I love reading labels. And I was like, this is everything I'm taking just in one scoop. I just have to scoop it. That's it. One scoop, one package.
And you're absorbing 75 high quality vitamins, minerals, whole food sourced superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens. And that is like in one delicious scoop. You know why I started taking Athletic Greens?
Why did you start taking it?
Tastes really good.
It does taste good.
So I just put it in my smoothie and it tastes really good. And then also I get all of the other benefits, including, you know, I struggle with digestion stuff.
Yes,
and it has it's really important for me to remember probiotics, and sometimes taking those pills, again, difficult to remember for me. But AG1 in my smoothie, it's a real chef's kiss because I get it all. And I do love that if you're keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, gluten-free, it works for you. Okay, guys, right now, we want you to try it too. It's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition, especially as we're heading into the flu, and we've been in the flu season, guys. Let's be real. Cool. You know, it's just one scoop in a cup of water or in your smoothie every single day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. So to make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you, our wonderful listeners, a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs. I mean, are we traveling anywhere? Well, maybe. With your first purchase, all you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/busy. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/busy to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. You know what I was just thinking, Caissie?
What?
Well, first of all, I was thinking, did you know that an estimated 5 billion plastic hand soap and cleaning bottles are thrown away each year?
It makes me
And if that's bad enough,
dizzy.
each bottle can be made of more than 90% water. That's essentially what we would call a lose-lose situation for the planet.
It really is.
Stop wasting water and throwing out more and more plastic. Get Blue Land's revolutionary refill cleaning system instead. But do you know what else I was thinking?
What?
I need to remember to go get my little Blue Land tablet from the pantry and refill my hand soap, my glass, beautiful, Instagrammable hand soap dispenser in my bathroom, because I just had my last little poof squirt out when I washed my hands.
Same.
And it's time to refill.
It's time to refill.
It's time to get my little tiny tablet and put it in that beautiful little glass jar and fill it with water and then
Boom,
wash my hands.
Yeah, boom. There's your hand soap. We're all washing our
hand
hands a ton. And for me, like, I love the earth. I love you, earth. And I love the
Earth. We love you.
Earth, we love you.
Hey, Earth. Earth. Congratulations, babe. We love you.
We love you. And I love Blue Land's mission, but also I love my own mission of not hauling really heavy containers and jugs of soaps and cleaners back and forth from the store. So being able to just like pop a little teeny tablet into a gorgeous reusable bottle, shake it up, and have this hand soap that smells so good and works so well.
And works. So I need to say this because I just know how like people in my own extended family are.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that they think that if it doesn't have like a big label that is easily recognizable or a cartoon attached, that it's not going to work. And the truth is, these cleaning products, I guarantee you, it is just as clean as any product with a talking animal or some sort of, you know, huge recognizable celebrity attached.
It's chic. It's effective. They have amazing scents like iris, agave, perrine, lemon, lavender, eucalyptus. All of those things are like, you know, they're pretty sweet.
They are pretty sweet. Also sweet, the deal. Okay, guys, right now you can get 20% off your first order when you go to blueland.com/best. That's 20% off your first order of any Blue Land products at blueland.com/best. blueland.com/best.
Have you been working? What have you been doing? Are you still easing back in?
No, I did meet a deadline for an essay that I wrote for a book, a compilation like book that I had agreed to participate in and was due, I think, November 1st, my essay.
Okay.
But I did turn it in yesterday.
Yeah, that's
2 months after the quote deadline. But guys, like I said to them when they gave me that deadline, you will get it in 2022. But I think the essay is pretty good. Talks a lot about it's a food-based book that Zasha Mamet is compiling.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
It is interesting. And she had reached out to me because we have the mutual friend, Eric Gurian, you know.
Yes.
And asked if I wanted to, like, kind of, you know, she sent me what the idea of the book is and all this stuff and was like, would you like to write an essay for it? And I was like, well, yes, I would. When is your deadline? And that's when she said November 1st. And I was like, that's never going to happen for me. Mind you, I think this was like May of last year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yes,
but I'm a goldfish. We know this.
Yeah.
If you give me too much space, I will grow and inhabit the space.
Yes.
And you'll have to move me to a bigger tank.
And then that takes time to find a bigger tank.
Sometimes it does.
Get your stuff moving. And also writing deadlines, I feel like are the deadline to begin the writing. Like your due date for a writing assignment is like best case scenario the day after you started it.
Agreed.
It's just the way that it is. And like a lot of writing takes place in the mind.
Correct.
I think you're like rolling it around. And so sometimes you're really ready just to like let it all spill out and you can get it in a couple days late and that's a real win. But sometimes no. sometimes it really is just the beginning of the process because, well, it's weird because like things like that, and maybe this is something that you listening can relate to too. When someone asks you to participate in something that's like not part of your daily life, it's special, it's outside of like your work schedule and the things that you do with your family and things that you do routinely, sometimes it's not just hard to find the time to do the actual thing, but it's hard to find the time to get your mind into the space where you're thinking about doing the actual thing. And those are the times when I really notice there really are just 24 hours in a day. And sometimes, like, in order to write something like that, I have to stare at the wall or go for a drive or something, and you never know what it's going to be. For me, I never know what it's going to be. And some people who write, you know, that's what they do and they're just on fire to write and very passionate about it. They can just do that because they're always warmed up and they're always in that headspace and they can just like pop off at any second. But it's not like that for all writers. Some writers like move in and out of that mental space.
Yeah, I also just abhor when I hear like writing Twitter and somebody on writing Twitter, like, write every day, D. I'm just like, guys, okay. But also like, no, that's not, I mean, that's just what you do. That is your process. That may not be my process. In fact, it is definitely not. I have tried it.
Yeah.
It does not work for me. Does not get the juices flowing. And also, it's like, it feels like a waste of time because if all the other stuff, like I have so many other things that I'm doing or that need to be done or that are on the to-do list. So it's like spending time every day writing something that like all is going to get thrown out because it sucks. When I could just like sort of wait, ruminate, figure it out in my head, like you said, talk about it. You know, I do so much that my teacher at Hoffman was, Drew, what's up, Drew? Was saying, you know, had said to me, like, you do so much process by talking. And I'm like, yeah, 100%. And like, that was not untrue about this writing assignment.
But that sounds fun. That sounds like I did one like food essay one time for like, was it like a recipe included? I know that sounds weird, but
no.
One time I participated in an anthology that was like a story plus the recipe about the food that you were talking about.
Yeah, no, this is like, I don't know. I'll be curious to see what other people's stories are about. I don't know. Mine is, just, you know, about food. I don't know how to, there's no recipe. I mentioned food.
Is it about nachos?
Nachos are mentioned. There are nachos that are mentioned.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
I like that. I think I like the essay. I think I like it. I'll send it to you. You can read it and then you can give me your feedback. It hasn't really been, maybe you should edit it for me too, because I don't know who their editor is. I haven't gotten edits back yet, so we'll see. Maybe I'll get the edits back and be like, oh no.
I'm sure the notes will be great because you're a very good writer. I was just thinking about how like recently you were like, I think I'm going to write another book. And then you were like, I've been thinking about it and I don't need to write another book. But I was just, and it's so funny because I don't hate when people say, oh, you should write a book. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I guess, but also like I should just write a journal is maybe what it should be because like people just don't care about books that much unless, you know what I mean? Like, anyway, I was reading another memoir and it's good. It's perfectly fine. But then I was just thinking about your memoir and like how much life and how fun it was to read it and what a pleasure it was. And, you know, no shade to this other unnamed memoir, but it just made me think of how much I liked yours and what a good writer you are. And
thank you.
How
I was just like, I mean, I don't think we've ever talked about this on you've like ghost written for some celeb memoirs, which is also its own beast. But like, I was just bummed from the onset that it was going to be a celebrity memoir.
I get that.
I just didn't want it to be that.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be a book.
A book, yeah.
Of essays.
I get that. And
about things that have like about my life.
Yeah, because in your life just happens to be this life.
Right.
And you knew that people were going to like take little details and run with those and make headlines of those things. And you probably just wanted people to think about the stories.
And to think about like, I don't know, thematically, even though the book came out literally like right around the Me Too movement, isn't it? Or was it after? I can't remember. I can never remember what was happening. I mean, culturally in anyone's timeline.
Yeah, I don't know that Me Too had like an official start date.
Well, not yes,
it got rolling.
Not
but I'm sure
Tarana, not like the first time Tarana like Burke, coined the phrase.
Right.
I just mean like when the movement like got, I actually think, October 2017. So it was like a year later, right?
Yeah, a year after it came out.
Because my book came out in 2018.
Yeah.
Right. But I feel like that was it. But it was like, in the zeitgeist, obviously because of Donald Trump's election and stuff, that I feel like a lot of women our generation were in a moment where they were reevaluating things that they had sort of just accepted as the way things were.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And had come to a point of like, oh, wait, maybe the fuck not. And like, so my thesis or like sort of my overarching thematics of the book, like when I started writing it in 2016, which seems so crazy. That was so long ago. Was just, what my experience as a woman in this time, a white woman in this time was culturally in this place and then in Hollywood, and what it was like for me.
For you and for you only.
But
me. Also not. I find myself saying similar thing to that so much. Like whenever I'm speaking only for myself and my experience. And like if it doesn't cover everyone, it's because I'm only speaking for and as myself. But also, I hope you relate to it, but not everyone will relate to it, and that's okay. I'm still allowed to say things for and about myself.
But also, who was I can't remember. What was I just listening to or watching or what the fuck? My brain is, I don't even understand anymore. But I was having a conversation and or listening to a podcast but that's probably not true because, I don't really listen to podcasts.
You don't listen to podcasts.
Or it was on this podcast. I don't remember.
Which you don't listen to.
Which I also don't listen to. But where the conversation was about the more specificity of experience makes it more universally relatable.
Yes,
and
I think that was here. We were talking maybe to Gloria Caldwell.
Oh,
maybe. Or maybe we're just, who knows? Somebody asked me somebody DM'd the show's Instagram recently saying like, what's the story behind this? And I said, we said it on the podcast because it was like something that we keep referencing or whatever. And I was like, we said it on the podcast. That's where the reference to it came from. And they were like, oh, which episode? And I was like, girl, I don't know.
No fucking idea.
There's no way to really know. And I said it with love, but yeah, there's no way
to know, baby.
To know who was talking.
There's no way to know. My babies.
There was no way to know how we were talking about. The more specific you are, the more it's relatable to. Or maybe we were just talking in.
No, it was. We talked about it when I saw you. My God, this is so dumb.
We both just
we were talking about because we were talking about my thirst trap photo that I posted, and that my mom texted me that text my mom sent me that was like, busy, there's a lump on your armpit. And by the way, guys, there's not. It's fat. And also the way that my arm was positioned and also the shadow, the light, like there's a lot of things. It actually isn't a lump. It's not a lipoma. Because Emily Beebe actually has a lipoma on her shoulder. I
know she showed me at Thanksgiving.
It's pretty sizable. So like I knew what my mom was talking about, but I'm like, I don't have a lipoma. But the amount of people, first of all, I think it literally got picked up in like some celebrity rags. Like my mom's text to me, where she's like, busy, just please get it checked out. Busy. Okay, fine. I just, And I'm like, Mom, can you just like appreciate that I was just like trying to be kind of hot for a second, whatever. And so many people reached out and DM'd me about me posting my mom's text to me saying like, oh my God, this is exactly my mother. And it was like men, women, every gender, like people were just like, yes, so relatable. And I was like, this is so funny because I feel like it's very specific to me posting a like kind of sexy picture and my mom telling me I have some lump that needs to get checked out.
Oh my God.
But it's the specificity of one's experience.
I was just trying to look up what I think that armpit fat has like a cute name that it like used to be called. It's scientifically called axillary fat. But I think it also...
aren't those little animals that are on Roblox axolotls? Wait, do you know what an axolotl is?
Yes, it's a very cute, like little lizardy guy. Yes, I know. I don't know, but also armpit fat. I think used to have like a colloquial name that people called it, like something like angel's. I don't even know, but not angel's wings. But I'm just saying.
I don't like that.
Something cute like that.
I don't like angel's wings. It's not. I'm not a fan of that.
Front wings.
Ew, no.
But yeah, everybody has it. If you don't have a little armpit fat, what is even happening?
I mean, I've gone through periods of time in my life where I haven't,
where
but
you haven't had it.
Those times have passed me by, and I don't know if they will ever return, and that's okay too.
Well, to talk about Gloria Calderon-Kellett and her reframing, that having a little armpit fat means abundance. It means you have abundant flesh that is not all going to fit in your armpit or bra, and there it is.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm sure there are blogs devoted to worshiping it.
I mean, probably. I don't know.
It's on probably frontwings.org.
Frontwings.org. That is just a horrifying idea. Please let's not Google.
Don't go there. Don't look at it.
Well, yeah. I mean, did you have a nice Christmas? Did you get all the things you wanted? Did Santa bring you good stuff?
I didn't really want for anything, but here's a good tip. If you have a podcast that at least one of your kids and your family members listen to, definitely do say that you wish for root beer on the podcast, because I did get some root beer from my son Eli.
Oh, right.
He listened to the podcast in a timely manner. Also, I didn't ask him if I could talk about this, but I don't think he'll mind. My husband got a massage table and learned how to do massages, and so that was his gift to me.
Oh my God! Wait, did he took like lessons?
I don't know if he I didn't ask too many questions about it. I was kind of like giggly about it, but I didn't want to be like disrespectful to his idea. And I should just say that I don't get massages. I've only had like one or two in my whole life, and I've been incredibly uncomfortable, like letting a stranger touch me. I'm super not into it. It's not my thing. And so recently he was like rubbing my shoulders, and he was like, oh my God, you have like so many knots in your shoulders. And I was like, well, they're going to just stay there, because I'm not a massage appointment type of girl. So I guess he just figured like the person that I would feel comfortable touching me is him. And so, yeah, so he got a massage table and like studied massage in some way. And so that was his gift. And it is kind of funny because our house is so tiny that it's impossible to walk around the table without crashing into 50 things. But
wait, it doesn't fold up?
it does fold up, but like once you spread it out, like here's the choices. It could go in our living room, which has the most wide open space, but then like our kids will be walking around watching mom get a massage. Nobody wants that.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they don't. Yeah.
Pretty sure they've seen enough. We all know that. And so in my office, there's not really like room enough for the table. So, but in our bedroom, it can technically fit there, but to like walk around it means that you're 100% going to like hit your shin on a nightstand and walk into a lamp and definitely trip on the corner of the bed. But anyway, he made it work. It was not relaxing. And I found a playlist of music that is 432 megahertz, which some people believe is like attuned to the earth.
What?
And
what is it?
It's a tuning, there's
like tuning forks?
Yeah, it's like a key that it's tuned to, and some people say that has like it's the same as the vibration of the earth. So I found a playlist that it's 432 hertz music. I found a playlist that was like popular music that was all tuned to 432
Wait, that's
hertz.
amazing and really weird.
It's so weird, but it was. I can't disagree that it was relaxing, but I don't know. Like, if
it's always interesting to me that like people that are opposed to massages or massages make you feel uncomfortable or whatever.
Yeah,
I love massages and I love facials. Do you ever get facials?
I have, but not a lot. I've gotten like a laser thing once or twice.
Not a feel good facial.
Yeah, to like laser something off. But
by the way, guys, I'm gonna give you a hot tip out there to those of you listening, because people do comment on my skin.
Yeah,
they do.
Good skin.
I've got good skin. I drink a lot of water. I have good genetic skin genetics, probably whatever. I use sunscreen, but also I will say this: don't get hot facials. Get cold facials, guys.
Cold facials.
Don't do hot facials. Don't have people steam your fucking face. It's not good for you. You're like, I need my pores to open. You don't. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You need a cold facial.
Pores are a scam, everyone.
You need cold facials. Stick your face in ice.
Everybody's so worried about what needs to happen with their pores, and it's just kind of like pores just are.
They just exist.
There's
no one's going to make them bigger or smaller, but heat on your face
it's not
isn't great. You need it. You need cold on your face, not heat. Anyway, that's a sidebar. My point is about massages. So have I told this story about
I don't know.
being like having like a really horrible massage experience when I was in my 20s at a
I don't think you have.
I was never like, even though, if you've read the book, that I like have my own I have my own sexual trauma from my teen years. And I was about to say, as do most women who came of age in the 90s and before, and maybe just all women, just period. But maybe it's
probably
changing.
Not wrong. Yeah.
But I had never, my mom would get facials. My mom liked a spa day.
Yeah.
I have very early memories about like sitting in the corner of the room while my mom's getting a facial, reading a Babysitter's Club book, like with a little light that the facialist had given me. Do you know what I mean?
Gosh.
Like,
yeah.
Obviously, guys, pre-phones, pre-everything. So I've like that. It's always been in my head. Like it's a nice like treat for yourself. And I would get facials starting when I was pretty young, because I went to, I was on TV and then went to a dermatologist that had like a facialist in the office, and they were like, if you're wearing this much makeup and the lights and you're 19, 20 years old, like you should be getting your face cleaned professionally, basically.
Right.
And with massages, I never cared particularly if it was a guy, like a man or a woman. But then when I was like 25 or 26, maybe 26, I think, I was in a city filming and I got a massage and the guy was like, I was just getting this weird vibe from him. And then he was going in my like upper thigh. And I was like, ooh, that's very close. It's very close, very, very close to my, his hand's inside my labia.
Oh,
like his whole, like the side of his hand, you know, like up in my junk. And I did the true fucking thing that I literally did to excuse away sexual assault when I was a teenager, which I was like, I'm sure that was like, he must be so embarrassed. Like that was not intentional. Like, you know what? I just like explained it away in my head instead of being like, whoa, dude, what the fuck? You know, like I just froze. I literally froze and was like, oh, that must have been a mistake. He must be so embarrassed. That was weird, but whatever. Froze. And then I was just like kind of stiffened up or whatever. Yeah. And then fully other side did the same thing. And I didn't say anything. And I left and I didn't say anything. And then I was dating Mark at the time. We were like kind of newly dating. Yeah. And I was in a different city and I called him and he was like, what? I was like, oh, well, I went to the spa here and like this thing happened. It was so weird. I don't know how I feel about it, but also must have just been a mistake. And he was like, that sounds not okay. And I was like, yeah, I guess, like it was just hard for me to put it all together. And even still, I'm like, I don't get it. What happened? You know what I mean?
Right.
But all of this to say that the way that I was like, I'm just never going to kind of deal with it. I just didn't kind of deal with it for a long time. And I'm decided like, I'll still get massages, but I'll just only have female therapists. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was just how I have been for the last however many years. So I'm in this spa in like the desert, Yeah. And I like wanted a massage and I booked it at the place and I didn't even think about, I always say it. I didn't even think about it. And this guy comes out and I was like freaking out a little bit. Like, oh no, better not be for me.
Yeah.
And my friend was like, BB was like, well, just like tell them that you had an experience and that it's, this is like maybe this is an opportunity. Maybe see this as an opportunity, to voice your discomfort and your like, and just assert your own autonomy and like this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, okay, I can do it. And he was like a very, very nice seeming guy,
Yeah.
And like went into the little massage room and he was like, okay, so this da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, great. So listen, you seem cool. I'm just going to say to you this. And like fully was like, I had this experience when I was 26 years old. I'm 42. I have not had a male massage therapist since. I feel very nervous about this, but I'm like actually willing to see if this is okay for me. But if it's not, I just want you to know it's about like my experience and my comfort level and blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? Like I just like laid it all out. And he just had like a very calm presence. And he was like, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Which, by the way, anytime someone shares something with you and your first response is, I'm so sorry that happened to you. You know what I mean? Like, I think I learned that from you, actually.
Really?
I think so. I don't know. I think I learned it by watching you with other people. But like, not to gloss over the thing that the person just revealed to you is like important, I think.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do move past like a traumatic reveal like quickly because it's uncomfortable and they want to like get on the other side of it.
Yeah.
So anyway, so he's like, I'm so sorry that happened to you. We'll just, this is just like a traditional massage. I'll like be I'm obviously now going to be very aware of your comfort. I mean, I would be anyway or whatever.
Right.
And he's like, but like, okay, like that's fine. Or, whatever. He just like acknowledged it and was like reassured me. And he was like, I'll check in with you and make sure that everything's going okay. And I was like, okay, great. So anyway, it was a great massage.
That's good. And I'm proud of you that you said your thing. Yeah, I'm definitely not there yet. And which is, it's fine. Like it's nice to get a massage. That's a great thing. And I think there are like tons of benefits to it, which I think is probably what my husband was thinking. Like there are health benefits to like being touched or whatever, but I'm not like, I don't love being touched. So, in all not in all cases, but in enough cases, but, yeah, it's really interesting. And it's very good. I think that you could say something. And I think it's really cool that my husband was like, oh, this bitch is never going to get a massage. And like, he knew that did I ever tell you about like the first time that I took CBD? Like I was having a hard time sleeping and, my schedule was just nuts. And I was like, I need the sleep that I'm going to get like when I can get it. So I think I like illegally ordered, thank God it wasn't a scam that time. I illegally ordered like CBD to be delivered to Connecticut before it was legal. And I took like little CBD drops to like help me sleep. I slept whatever. I don't know how much it helped me sleep. And I'm not trying to like make any medical claims about CBD, but the next day I got out of bed and like literally everything on my skeleton that could popped all at the same time. And Matt was like, oh my God, was that your whole body? And I just was like, yeah. And he was like, that's how tense you are walking around this earth. Like you're braced for impact 24/7. And that like little 2 drops of CBD like chilled you out enough that your entire skeleton just popped like fireworks. It was insane.
That's like, I mean, the tension that people hold, like you see it,
Yes.
and like it's definitely, I think massages are great for many reasons.
I think they are too.
I think body work is great, but I also obviously fully understand some people's comfort levels vary with, but I would say like, I don't know. That's why I think facials are like a real good way to get into having somebody touch you. Maybe not during Omicron fucking COVID situations, but I don't know. Maybe is that your New Year's resolution to be touched more?
I didn't really maybe we'll see. We'll see how much my husband, who works very hard all week, has the energy to then spend time on his feet even more, giving me back rubs like I'm the fucking queen of the universe.
Princess.
Like I'm a princess. But I'm willing to accept them as much as he's willing to give them. I don't know. I haven't really made resolutions because I feel like I'm just like setting myself up to fail. But it's January 4th, and I feel like I've already done some things that I'm proud of, which is like I've tried to read a little more instead of just mindlessly scrolling on my phone.
Well, I have to say that the painting for me really helped not mindless scroll.
Yeah, I think that's
I was just like doing something.
It's so brilliant. Yeah.
It was kind of fun
do
too.
something.
I mean, I liked it, obviously.
Trying to get a little organized. Going to put some of my clothes on Poshmark. I'm going to do that today.
Ooh. Wait, I never told everybody how much money I made at the Poshmark sale because other things happened and I don't know, fucking life. But I made enough money to make a donation to the Hoffman Institute for 2 full scholarships.
Oh, that's amazing.
I know, which is exciting. Thank you.
I'm going to keep the money from my Poshmark sale.
That's also totally okay. I have no issues with that. That is what I think that Poshmark is great for that reason. Like, especially if you're like, I want to buy new clothes or something, like my budget could be what I sell my old clothes for.
Right.
Caissie, can we finish later, do you think?
Yeah. Do you have to go?
I have to go see my doctor.
Your doctor. Okay. Yeah. We'll do more in a little while when you get back from your doctor.
We'll see you in a bit. I'll let you know the outcome of
your
my doctor's appointment.
Real time.
You don't have to wait till next week. All right. I'll talk to you in a bit. Sakara Life. Feeling your best starts with what you eat. Sakara helps you not just to live a healthy, balanced lifestyle, but also enjoy it. No?
Listen, there's a lot in there, but I think you hit a lot of
maybe too much
points.
information is what I'm hearing you say.
I like
just for a song. Okay. Well, I'm going to try, guys. You know I'm always going to try it. Well, sometimes. If we do the ads early enough in the day, I really go for it. But we've talked about Sakara before. Sakara is a meal delivery service. It's plant-rich, ready-to-eat meals, functional wellness, nourishing your body, whole organic ingredients. Caissie, long before this podcast was a thought of ours because we had a late night talk show instead. You remember I would get Sakara a lot.
Yes, you
delivered.
Would always have it, and you would always show up with it in your little bag, ready to go. Yeah, it's just because when you're in a workplace, sometimes you just go for the junk that they have in the pantry, and that's all fun. But it's so much better, and you just feel so much better when you reach into your bag and you have like a little Sakara treat ready to go.
Well, and also, that job in particular, all jobs require a lot of energy, whether you're, using emotional energy or actual physical energy. That talk show took both out of me. And it's true. You don't want to be sitting there like getting the 3 p.m. sugar slumps, where you're feeling so sluggish and like you can't have any good brain space. That was like literally when our showtime was. So I needed to be up and ready to go.
Right.
And Sakara's whole theory is, you nourish your body, you transform your life. They're delicious plant-rich meals. And Sakara is a wellness company that is anchored in food as medicine. It's on a mission to nourish your body through the power of plants. And it really does. Like, it makes you feel different, full of energy and like ready to go. And I'm just a huge fan.
And it also really tastes good, which is like sometimes they leave that part off and it's a pretty important part.
Well, guys, you know me. I'm not going to I don't mess with it if it doesn't taste good.
Yeah, it curbs your sugar cravings, which I think we could all maybe take a look at.
Especially right now.
Right now, our
today.
Sugar cravings. And it just couldn't be easier because not only is it all ready for you to enjoy, it's delivered right to your door.
So guys, right now, Sakara is offering our listeners 20% off their first order when they go to sakara.com/busy, or you can enter code busy at checkout. That's Sakara, SAKARA.com/busy to get 20% off your first order. Sakara.com/busy. Hey, Caissie.
Yes.
Have you ever been on a date and it's going well and then all of a sudden they drop a huge deal breaker?
I've not been on a date in a long time, but that has happened to many of my single friends.
I also have not been on a date in a very long time. However, it has happened to everybody I know.
That's my favorite form of like hanging out with my girlfriends is hearing the ways in which they've been.
I have a friend whose date, it wasn't like a huge deal breaker, but wildly asked to borrow their blender and then never returned it.
Oh my that is...
It is a great story, though. It's a great story.
It's a good story, but possibly a romantic deal breaker.
Yeah, I would think someone stealing your blender from you is a deal breaker. But did you know that there's a dating app, OkCupid, and you will never be set up with someone who steals your blender, probably.
I hope
You
not.
probably will never, not again. Because OkCupid finds people you're most compatible with.
Right.
It's very exciting.
So they will hopefully be able to filter out anyone that needs a blender that,
Well, sure. Listen. Also, or just like what's important to you, and like probably would just not have a person on there and steal your blender. The OkCupid app learns what's important in your life and asks you questions, and then they have a one-of-a-kind algorithm. Whoa, it's the future, and it's amazing. And it pairs you with people that care about what you care about, like puppies or repro rights or not stealing your blender. In fact, guys, did you know that OkCupid is the only dating app in the world that lets you filter out singles that don't care about the issue you care about? Whoa.
Wow.
That's amazing. Wait, we do have to take a moment for this. That is wild. So I could be like, oh, I'm sorry. You are not pro-choice, or you don't care about LGBTQIA rights, or you're a climate change denier. No thanks, buddy. I don't have the fucking time.
That could have saved us so much time and trouble in our dating years. People are so lucky now.
Yeah. I'm into it. Anyway, guys, if you are looking for your person, I think you should download the dating app OkCupid, because that's kind of rad.
And it's time to find your person. What are you waiting for?
Find your person. Download.
It's all right there for you. Download the dating app OkCupid. Like now. Today. Let us know what happens.
Oh, I want to know. Maybe we'll do a dating segment.
Ooh, I'm into it.
I like it. Oh, I forgot to plug my machine.
Oh my God. What could have happened in the time between when you left and now? Did someone borrow your laptop?
No, I moved it around.
Oh, I got you. Look.
I had to get after my doctor's appointment. Sorry, I'm eating chocolate. Guys, here's what we need you to know. I hadn't eaten. I had just finished lunch when we talked the first time.
Yeah. You were just finishing up.
And now I just finished dinner.
All right. Okay. I ate some pistachios.
I'm just trying to explain to people how many hours we devote. Oh, fuck.
I wasn't recording.
Oh my God.
Gold. Lost.
Oh, you're having a little glass of wine.
You know what it is. They're not advertising this week, so I won't mention them by name.
But they will advertise again in the future, I believe.
We can hope. Anyway, guys, I'm back.
Back from the doctor.
Went to Dr. Wang, who, again, remains wild. I don't know if you remember. I told you he was wild. I love him so much. He literally was like, well, first of all, remember the nodes thing? He was concerned.
Yes.
So he was like, well, that's the first thing I want to check is the nodes. And remember, he was like, it's pretty uncommon that it would be because of a sinus infection.
Yeah.
It was because of a sinus infection. Yeah, it was massive.
Gosh.
He was like, that was a massive sinus infection, apparently.
I feel like all of our nodes are fucked up, though. So
well, my nodes are fine now. They're not swollen.
I know, but shout out to your nodes. I think everyone's nodes have been through a lot.
I think so too.
You know what I'm
think
saying?
we've all, more than my nodes, have been through a lot. You know what I mean? Well, so anyway, and then he put the camera up into my head. And remember how I told you when I saw him, he was like kind of shady about my sinus surgery?
Yeah.
Remember, he was like, they didn't do a good job. today he was like, I take it back about this at the surgery. He's
Oh,
like,
all right.
your sinuses look really great. He's like, I was just
interesting.
responding to what I saw, but now I know that was just a massive, massive infection. So guys,
You know
wasn't
what?
COVID.
I like a man that can admit he's wrong.
oh, fuck me. So do I. It's hard to find sometimes. Do you think that you're a person that owns your shit, Caissie?
Yeah, I've gotten better at it. It's not something that I used to be very good at, but I have gotten better at it because people respect you more. I think when you say, "Oh, that was my mistake. I'm sorry." And you know,
You know where I started practicing at first, which might sound whatever. I don't care. It was long ago that I started practicing it. And it was responding to emails that I had let go too long.
okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where I was like, you know what? In this, you got to suck it up and just admit it and say, and apologize and not try to make an excuse and not try to pretend like it hasn't been 5 months or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that was where I first sort of got into practice of doing that. And then once you apply it there, if you're me, it's very easy to apply it other places.
Yeah.
So I do think, not very. I do think though, I do think I'm a person that owns my shit. I do.
I love that. In TV, like I think like when I was coming up, you know, professionally, I think in my first job, maybe I had examples of people that were like, just don't draw attention to a mistake, whatever, you know, but there were some big mistakes that I made that I just had to own up to. And then I was like, in that high pressure situation, if you can own up to a mistake, I'm sure I told you the Nicolas Cage letter story. I'm sure you
Did
all
you tell
know
it
that
to the
podcast. I think
I know the
did.
story, but have you?
I don't know. I mean, if I haven't, listeners, let me know and I'll tell the Nicolas Cage story next week. But yeah, that was a huge fuck up. And I just had to own it. I had to say I fucked up, you know?
Yes.
And then when you work in live TV, you have to admit to fucking up even more because a lot of fuck ups happen. And the quickest way to handle it and fix it is to say I fucked up. Help me fix it.
Speaking of which, I'm sure you've watched all of the like viral Andy vids
God.
from New Year's Eve. I can't believe we haven't even talked about this.
I can't believe it. I just watched the clips because I was just doing my own thing. I didn't watch
no one watches the fucking show, which
I don't even know how to watch TV anymit.
I don't either.
Yeah. I don't know, but it was kind of wild. You know what? It made me laugh. I mean,
I thought some of the shit was so funny that, like, I don't know. It was just too funny to me.
Andy
I loved
Cohen,
it.
Anderson Cooper on CNN, Don Lemon also had a little bit too much to drink. Andy said I was overserved, jokingly, and he did apologize for being like a little rough on Ryan Seacrest, making fun of Ryan Seacrest.
Oh my God, I didn't even see that part. Oh no, that's really funny.
He was because I guess Journey, you know, because it's all happening New Year's Eve in Times Square. It's all happening. Every network that has a show, it's all within feet of each other.
Right.
So I guess Ryan Seacrest's show is over on ABC and he had Journey performing, and then I guess confetti from Journey got on Andy and Anderson, and then Andy went on a rant about how fake Journey had just performed because it's not the original group. So he was like, fake Journey just performed and over there with those losers from ABC, and like he got a little rough, and then he apologized on his radio show saying he was sorry that he had said that because Ryan Seacrest is a wonderful guy and he's lovely, and you know, and Ryan Seacrest also, I think, has a pretty good sense of humor. So hopefully he'll be able to shake off a drunken comment. But this shit about de Blasio.
I mean, that's what I saw. I like watched the full de Blasio.
Sayonara, sucker.
So insane. I don't know. I love it. I mean, I've only been that fucking drunk on television once, and it was our show, and it was, I mean, for real, and it was the Lizzo episode.
You and Lizzo
which
were just like...
was wasted. I was so drunk.
In case you can't remember Lizzo's song Juice, we made juice boxes for
which
Busy
were,
and
just
Lizzo.
To be
they
clear,
were
it was
like the big soup box containers that like
soup box or like what like soy milk
comes in.
Milk comes in or whatever.
And, so it was a big box like that, like decorated to look like a juice box, and then we put like. Well, I think you both thought it was cocktails, but it was like straight tequila.
We had said we'd like tequila and soda. But I think maybe because of the straw and the box, I don't know, they couldn't put soda in it. And they just did straight tequila. But we were just sipping on it, sitting there thinking it was insane.
It was a really funny episode. Also,
as I mentioned earlier, maybe in an ad, actually. As I mentioned earlier in an ad, we filmed at like 3 p.m.
Right.
So it wasn't even like, so I was literally like, it was time for dinner when I left, and I was blackout drunk. I was so drunk on that tequila. Anyway, it was a really fun episode and a fun interview, and
Lizzo was so great, and
Lizzo was amazing.
Her psychic with her, and it was fun all around.
It was fun all around, guys.
Fun times.
It was fun all around. Well, anyway.
Times. Well, before you went to the doctor, you were asking me what my New Year's resolutions were.
Yeah.
And I said to read more and not doom scroll, and like, been trying to do some smoothies, do some swimming, shit like that. Just like basic stuff. Also trying to remember that thing that I reposted on Instagram where that guy was just like, here's some things that will like make your life better. And I was like, said I feel attacked because he was like, just do like it was so basic. He was like, just do simple shit, like respond to emails right away. People will like you better. And then he was like, do you know that one thing that's like a stupid problem that you have, like you and your husband are always fighting over the one phone charger. Just fix one stupid problem a week. Go get another phone charger. Like, just
by the way, I call bullshit. I can buy a fucking phone charger a goddamn day. And do you know what happens? It's gone.
I'm sure.
No, but Caissie,
we need to set up a sting operation in your house is I think what needs to happen. And then you need to start.
Gina's like the dog from Brady Bunch.
Exactly.
Tiger. And we'll go into Gina's doghouse in the yard, and there will just be a pile of iPhone chargers.
Yeah. You need to set up some cameras.
Is that true?
Figure out what's happening to your belongings, who's touching all your shit all the time. And then you need to just start invoicing people for the things
the truth is we would just have videos of me wandering around and like moving shit from place to place.
What? And then your mind just breaks.
That's my like horror Instagram influencer mom horror movie that I never sold to star myself.
No,
I have a million great movie ideas, guys. Hit me up right here. I'll just be here drinking my beep.
Oh my!
You'll hear the name next week.
So anyway, what do you have a New Year's resolution? What?
Yeah,
what
remember I want to floss more.
Oh yeah. How's that going?
Yeah,
you haven't done it yet.
I actually was like coming on strong with the floss before New Year's.
Okay,
and just fell right on off as soon as it turned the first.
That's a tough one. What do you think is like? Is there a way that it would be easier for you? Like, is there a way you can set yourself up for flossing success?
I got floss I like.
Okay. That's a good start. Where do you
there?
You floss in the bathroom?
Mm-hmm.
If
I lived like my most successful year flossing in my life.
What year was
I don't
it?
mean the dance craze, but it was like in my 20s, and I lived in LA, and I was in my car so much, and I would floss in my car.
Yeah.
But this is New York, baby.
Yeah, so
peak
you're not
COVID vibes. I can't just be like flossing on a subway or something.
Oh my gosh.
Also, that's disgusting.
It is disgusting.
Even if it isn't COVID.
It is disgusting. Yeah, you can't floss on you can't do anything on the subway, but mind your business. But I do keep floss in my bedside table. So that if I forget to floss before I get in bed, and then I'm like,
I have so much shit on my bedside table. I can't.
I know,
but can't add one more thing.
How much of the stuff are you really using, and how much did you just put there?
Okay, I see. Here's what I see from here. Just,
okay,
I'm on the other side. I see, in no particular order, 2 giant hair clips, 2 clarifying, purifying sprays like sage and stuff.
Okay.
A bandana. A toiletry kit that I believe has Advil inside of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 giant crystals. A salt rock. I see oils of varying kinds, shapes, and sizes. Some for face, some for feet, some for anti-inflammation. Also have advertised at one time on this podcast, but not right now. And I see multiple lip balms.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Can you like get rid of one lip balm and replace it with a floss?
Okay.
I just want you to get your dreams.
That my dream would be to be 33 again, but that's not happening. So,
well, listen, your gums aren't getting any younger, so
no, they're fucking not like the rest of me.
So
my hip hurts.
I know.
My back hurts.
I know.
My knee hurts.
I was just thinking about it, and I was like, what is my face doing? Like, I'm getting so much older. And then I was like, duh. Isn't it so weird how we're shocked?
Even Keanu Reeves looks old now, guys.
Even Keanu Reeves. And
remember when it turned for Johnny Depp? Oh, it turned hard.
Yeah, it took a hard turn. And even when we were talking, like joking about how everyone says Paul Rudd is ageless, and everybody said, no, he's like a boyish looking older gentleman, but he looks his age. And then I started to think about it, and I was like, oh my God, I'm being so fucking stupid though. I should be so excited that I'm getting older, because what is the alternative? Dead.
Benjamin Buttoning?
No, nobody's Benjamin Buttoning.
Well,
that's
Benjamin Button did.
I mean, but that was pretend.
It didn't really happen,
and it didn't even hardly make sense in the movie.
It definitely didn't make sense.
It was a great movie, but it didn't really. It's not even like a thing. But
I
so
loved that
like,
movie, though.
I guess I am psyched that I'm getting older, but oof.
Well, right. But again, this is like where I get so upset with myself, because it's just like a fucking patriarchal brainwash structure that even makes us say that.
Yeah, it's true.
It sucks.
It's true.
And I mean, also we just treat old people like shit in this country.
That is true. I mean, I know that from like the days in the nursing home. Like that was really rough.
And so the idea of like, oh, I'm going to become a part of society that like isn't revered in the culture that I live in, and like be shoved off like some fucking chore for my kids that like just like fight about who has to do it. Ugh.
Well, don't take it. Don't accept it.
I don't accept it. When I'm an old lady, I shall wear purple.
That's always my sign of a favorite gift shop when they have when I'm an old lady, I shall wear purple section.
Anything.
Like
Guys, remember when they had the ladies like, and they had their own club and they wore like boas in public because they were like, look at me.
God.
You know what? The boomers have done so much for us, and I know they get a lot of shit. But those fucking especially those fucking boomer moms.
The Red Hat Society.
The Red Hats, the younger boomer moms. The women who birthed us.
Yes.
Like, bless their hearts. They really have paid. They really did pave some fucking ways.
Not just even for real, like real talk, not just even red hats, but it's like a lot of the stuff that we're talking about, like reproductive rights and, you know, and civil rights and women's rights. Like those are all of our moms were out there like fighting for reproductive rights, and they're like, you know, God bless. Like we just have such a short memory. But, and of course, exactly what you were saying, the way that we treat old people, the way that we treat a lot of people who aren't, like, I guess, privileged white men. I guess we forget so easily like what everyone did to put us in the position that we're at least at now.
Well, they set us up for something.
They set us up for something. But it's just like,
listen, you got to take the ball and fucking run, guys.
You got to run with it. It's like
you got to
flossing.
run.
You got to do a little bit every day.
Can't run backwards and make a goal for the other team. If you do that, that's not great.
It's a great episode of Charlie Brown, I feel like, but not great in real life.
Not great for us.
Not great for us. It is wild times are happening, like with the Ghislaine Maxwell and like the January 6th. Why
isn't it Ghislaine?
Ghislaine.
I know, but everybody knows it as Ghislaine.
Ghislaine. I know.
Ghislaine.
I watched a documentary or like an episode of 2020 about the whole thing that I think came out a long time ago, but it probably just got pushed up to the top of my feed because of the trial happening. And no two people in the documentary, including her own friends and relatives, called her the same name. So,
well, it's insane. Because it's an insane name. What do they call the boat that
name
she was named after? There's the real question.
That would be the answer.
The boat was named after her.
Oh, I don't know. I don't even know. I just was like,
I'm grateful that she's going to jail.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's important.
I think, for the victims and now all this shit with Prince Andrew. I was trying to get into it like between when we were recording today.
Ooh, I don't even know
what's happening because
she's gonna turn. Like this is the hope, right? But maybe she won't because, I mean, maybe she just won't.
Who
but
knows?
Like, literally, who fucking knows? But that's what they're hoping for, correct? Like they're hoping that she's gonna like literally turn in like Prince's and Bill Clinton and Donald Trump and like, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe that's what, but then if she's convicted and she's going to jail, then I guess it's like, yeah, that's her last chance to sort of make a plea bargain. Is that how that works? Lawyers? Any lawyers here? Yeah, I don't, but I know that I was watching some legal expert talk about how Virginia Giuffre, one of Jeffrey Epstein's victims, had settled with him in 2006. And part of she got $500,000, which is shockingly not a lot of money.
Not a lot of money.
Consider how much
they were worth.
Yeah, how much money everyone in that world was worth. And part of the agreement, I think, was that she couldn't sue anyone else. So I don't. All I know is that the expert was talking about like what that meant for Prince Andrew and if that meant he was off the hook or not, and they weren't convinced that he was off the hook. And
interesting.
It's incredibly fucked up. But I'm glad that these women are getting some justice.
Me too.
Somehow. and we'll see what happens. But it's just a lot. I feel like a lot of news is popping off and like
breaking right now, right this second.
Yeah, just like, Donald Trump Jr. and Ivanka were subpoenaed by the New York Attorney General. They are not going to comply with the subpoena. So then what will happen? And, it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. They were being compelled to testify, and I think they're declining to testify. And so who knows? And then Don Jr.'s marrying Kimberly Guilfoyle. Apparently they've been engaged for an entire year.
Listen, easy to hide shit during COVID.
I mean,
can you imagine how many babies we're going to be like, oh my God, X, Y, and Z? Like J-Lo had a baby with Ben Affleck. Like you're like, what? Oh, right. That other variant.
I feel like I watched her pretty closely, but yeah, there's, so many. My kids were like, John Mulaney and Olivia Munn had their baby. And then they were like, wait, they had their baby like a month ago and they're just announcing it now. And so we had a big talk about like how we had a big family talk about how births are announced and how sometimes they're, kept private for a little while or whatever. But it's not so easy when everybody's out on the street getting their photograph taken 24/7. But that's not happening right now.
Right. But that hasn't happened in quite some time.
It's true.
Well, yeah. It's so funny. Like, This Is Us just started airing on NBC. If I ever had watched one episode, maybe I would be tuning in right now.
I've watched every single episode.
You've seen every single one?
I've seen every single episode. I am a huge fan of Sterling K. Brown. I'm a big fan of Chrissy Metz.
Well, me too. Go to the same facialist, guys.
You and Chrissy do?
Wait, no.
You and Chrissy or you and Sterling?
Sterling.
That's so funny. Chrissy went to the same high school that my dad went to in Japan.
Well, Chrissy's just my favorite for that crazy thing that happened. Never mind. Not going to get into it.
That was hilarious. We're not going to.
I didn't finish telling you about Dr. Wang and how he's so crazy.
Okay, go back
but
to
this
Dr.
is why
Wang.
he's wild. So anyway, he put the camera at my nose and he was like, I take back what I said about the it's a good surgery. You you were so sick, right? And then he was talking to me and like, my notes are good and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, good. I'll text my mom. She'll be really excited. And he goes, I saw that text your mom sent you. You made the news for that. And I was like, what? And he was talking about the thirst trap thing, the armpit thing. And I was like, what? I made the news? He's like, yeah, well, my family was watching the news. And I was like, hey, that's my new patient. And I was like, oh my God, I did not realize that was spread so far and wide. I'm sure he didn't mean the actual news. I'm sure he meant like whatever entertainment program was on after the news. I'm
Hollywood.
Pretty sure.
Entertainment Tonight. Is that still on?
Yeah, right? Aren't they? Who knows? Should we do one?
I don't know. I mean,
is
sure,
this
why not?
Entertainment Tonight?
Kind of. We're talking about your armpit, aren't we?
Oh my God. Well, anyway, it was really funny when he was like, you were on TV. You were on my news.
That's hilarious.
And I was like, okay.
Oh my God.
Anyway. Truebill, you're the one that figures it all out for me. You don't let greedy subscriptions pocket your money. Guys, do you know why free trials renew without your consent? Because it's a scam.
Yeah.
It's designed to get you.
Yeah, because they know you'll forget. They know you want the free trial and you try it.
Because I do.
Yeah.
Because I did. I already did.
Yes. And then you forget. And I try to be hyper organized and set an alarm in my phone to be like, remember to cancel XYZ. But then when the alert comes up like a week later, I'm like, oh, not right now. I'll do it in an hour. And then I forgot again. And they get me every time.
I don't even know how to set an alarm like that. So anyway, Truebill is an app, guys, that helps you identify and stop paying for weird subscriptions that you don't need and you don't want and you probably forgot about because you only signed up for it so that you could try that moisturizer. Anyway, on average, people save $720 a year with Truebill because companies make subscriptions hard to cancel. So Truebill makes it very simple. You link your accounts and Truebill will cancel your unwanted subscriptions in one tap. That's amazing.
And this is subscriptions for everything, for like channels that you've subscribed to, streaming services, subscription, just anything that shows up on your credit card bill as a monthly charge, gym memberships.
Oh my God. I found out I was still paying, like it was a small percentage.
Oh no.
But it was like a small amount, but I was still paying a gym monthly.
I just had a friend whose elderly parent came to them and was like, I need help like straightening out my finances because I'm very confused about like where all my money is going. And, you know, it's overwhelming. It doesn't have anything to do with being elderly because I'm confused too. And they signed up for Truebill and like canceled tons of subscriptions that the woman had completely forgotten about.
Well, guys, do you need to know anymore? No. What you need to do is not fall for subscription scams, or if you are like me and you already did, start canceling them today at truebill.com/best. Right now. Go right now. Truebill.com/best. It literally could save you hundreds a year. Truebill.com/best. Caissie.
Yes.
Just got back from my doctor, Dr. Wang.
Dr. Wang from that you found on ZocDoc?
From ZocDoc? Yes. From the free ZocDoc app, the easiest way to find a great doctor and instantly book an appointment.
Oh my gosh.
That's right. The very same one.
It's so good. My son, you know, he came across country. He was on the East Coast. Now he's on the West Coast. He just decided it's a good time to get in all these doctor's appointments. He needs new doctors. And he was having the hardest time. And then I was like, just try ZocDoc. And then he was like, does ZocDoc need me to do an ad for them? Because all of the things that I was stressed out about, it took care of it in 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, listen. Millions of people use ZocDoc every month, and we are but two of them. I actually literally was in Dr. Wing's office telling him about ZocDoc and that they advertise on my podcast, and he's like, ooh, this must be really good for you. It's a natural tie-in. And I said, Dr. Wang, I love you. You guys, it just is this, you get really good, there's really good doctor. I'm not even kidding. If the doctor's good enough for me, and I only want the best doctors.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so great because one of the frustrating things about finding a doctor is the back and forth when you have to call and the phone's busy. It's very old fashioned. Sometimes it's hard to find a doctor that's in network for the healthcare coverage.
Guess how I knew that Dr. Wang took my insurance?
From ZocDoc.
ZocDoc.
ZocDoc knows and just filters you. And then you can read honest like opinions and feedback that people who have seen that doctor before have. So you can already have sort of a good idea.
By the way, when I was looking for sinus doctors, reading the reviews were really important because I needed to find a sinus doctor that was also a surgeon who did surgeries, and like basically I just needed a someone to put a camera up my nose is what I'm
Right.
trying to say here. But that's like a very specific thing. So if people were like, this doctor took my tonsils out last year, I'm like, that's not the same kind of ENT that I need.
Right. Yeah. So it just makes it really easy. And I have to say, like, the reviews are very, sometimes reviews can be a little, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know what's going on with online reviews, but on ZocDoc, they're all really informative and well thought out. And you can tell that people had really good experiences with their ZocDoc doctors.
Listen, ZocDoc just makes healthcare easy, period. So now is the time to prioritize your health. Guys, go to ZocDoc.com/doingherbest and download the ZocDoc app to sign up for free. And you can book a top-rated doctor. Many doctors are available today. You can be like, I need a doctor. ZocDoc. I have an appointment at 3:15.
I love it.
That's ZocDoc.com/doingherbest. Guys, it's a new year. Let's all make health a priority.
Go to the doctor. What are you doing your best at this week?
I don't know.
It's kind of similar to a resolution, and you already admitted that.
Not great.
The flossing resolution.
I don't know. I had a lot of thoughts, but then about New Year's and stuff and what I want for this next year. But I also want to I said it out loud to myself, and now I just feel like, I don't know.
You didn't know?
I'm settling into this year. I'm not like, I don't know. I feel like I just want to be a little trepidatious. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's good. I think that's smart. We put so much emphasis on okay, it's a new year, it's a fresh start. And and I do it too. I think it's natural, but it really is so arbitrary. It's like how we're always starting new things on Mondays, and it really is so arbitrary. And then I had to let go of it really quickly this year because I my first meeting of the year, my first professional meeting might be the only professional meeting that I have this year. Who knows? I don't know yet. And it just went really shitty and shitty to the point where it was hard to shake off and just be wow, and I was it just one of those ones that really you're what just happened. And and I talked it over, with the person, one of the people that was on the meeting about what their interpretation was. And I talked about it to my husband, and then I talked about it to our friends Ashley and Kristen, and they were making me laugh. And then I was like, okay, I've spent enough time talking and thinking about this. But I was actually I wasn't glad that it happened. I don't want to say that because it was really shitty and I don't think I deserved it. But I was kind of, in a way, glad it happened because it made me realize, look, I can't take this as some kind of omen of how the rest of my year is going to go. It's just an arbitrary, shitty meeting on a day that happens to be the first business day of 2022. It doesn't mean that the rest of the year is going to be shitty and everyone's going to be shitty to you. It's just one shitty time. That maybe that person was having a shitty day. Who knows? That made it so shitty. Do you think we should make shitty a drinking word? It just was yeah. So it made me let go of oh, this is we're pressing play on a whole new year, because obviously I can't let that be the theme and I can't let it get into my head that that's going to be the theme of my year. And that's ridiculous. A year is made up of so many terrible moments, but also so many good ones.
I had a hard night last night.
Yeah.
I ended up like I couldn't sleep. Also, I'm like jet lagged and stuff.
Yeah.
Jet lagged. So stupid. It is. Jet lag is so stupid. Why can't your body just know?
Yeah.
Why can't you just be on the right time? You know?
It's true.
I was on the West Coast like just long enough to get sort of acclimated.
Yeah.
Enough acclimated that it's weird. Anyway,
it's weird.
The point being, I was having a hard night last night and I found the original Great Performances Into the Woods on YouTube, which my sister and my mom and I used to watch all the time. My sister and I used to watch it all the time. We had it recorded on VHS, guys. Don't worry about it. Straight from the TV. And it was one of my favorite tapes, as I used to say. And when I was back in Arizona for Christmas with my family, my sister and I tried to make our children love it like we did. And we tried playing it and they hated it so much. The Great Performances one, not the movie with Anna Kendrick and
right.
the late night show guy. Anyway, so last night I was having this rough. We never finished it in Arizona because the kids were like literally rolling their eyes. But we had fun while we were watching it, you know. So I put it on last night, and I was watching the second half of the show. Which, have you ever seen it?
Yeah.
Was it a thing you watched when you were little?
It wasn't. I mean, it was a thing I'm sure I probably caught on. It was on PBS. Yeah, I probably caught it on PBS, but I didn't watch it like repeatedly. But I did. West Side Story, I wore out a tape of West Side Story. So
now, interestingly, I never saw the Great Performances of West Side Story. I didn't know there was one.
Oh, interesting. I mean, I'm talking about the original movie with Rita Moreno. I just loved Rita Moreno so much. I just wore it out. But but anyway.
The Great Performances thing, I'm taking pictures for our podcast because I feel like I need to promote it more. But I really should take a video. Here, I'll take a video.
Okay.
And then I'll post this. And then we'll get, hold on. I'll take a little video. And then maybe it'll get more views because Instagram loves videos.
Hi, Instagram.
This is a terrible video.
Well.
Anyway, so what I loved about the Great Performances is that it's fucking live theater. You hear the audience clapping. And so it's like you can be in New York on Broadway. And for a kid growing up in Scottsdale, Arizona, saw the touring companies of, a lot of shows. But like I never went to New York City to see Broadway shows, like whatever. But anyway.
Yeah.
So I put it on last night. And the second half has my two favorite songs. The first just came to mind because of what you just said. And it's Joanna Gleason. Oh, I love her. And Chip Zien is the baker. And he's like so fucking amazing. So anyway, my two favorite songs is her song in the second act, Moment in the Woods. Do you know that? It's Joanna Gleason. Oh my God, she's so fucking good. So anyway, and then she goes, wake up, stop dreaming, stop prancing about the what? Okay, right. There are vows, there are ties, there are needs, there are standards, there are shouldn'ts and shoulds. Why not both instead? There's the answer if you're clever. Have a child for warmth and a baker for bread and a prince for whatever. Okay, so then, must it all be less or more, either plan or grand? Is it always or? Is it never and? Blah, 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 blah. There's more. Okay. And if life were made of moments, even now and then a bad one, but if life were only moments, then you'd never know you had one. That was what I was trying to get to this whole time. Josh, you can just edit right to that line.
I love that. I love that. I love
anyway, but if life were only moments, then you'd never know you had one. Yeah.
It's true.
Now and then a bad one. Let the moment go. Don't forget it for a moment, though. Just remembering that you've had an and when you're back to or makes the or mean more than it did before. So good.
That's
fucking
so
Stephen
good.
Sondheim. It's almost as if he knew what he was fucking doing. Okay. And then the other thing that I was obsessed with, and I, not gonna lie, was a little stoned. Guys, don't judge me. You just fucking stop judging me, Mom.
It's all right.
And I recorded the entire 4 minutes and 48 seconds of the Chip Zine and his, it's like the father like son song.
Yeah.
Do you know what that one is?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, that's it. To me, the entire show is that fucking 4.5 minutes. I'm serious.
Okay.
And I didn't watch James Corden do it.
Right.
And I'm sorry I said that with such disdain in my voice. But Chip Zine is so fucking good. I can't imagine anyone else in it. I can't.
I
Sorry.
get that. Yeah. Sometimes when you're just somebody's burned in your mind in a certain role, you just can't. And
the guy that plays the old man, the mysterious old man.
Yeah.
And that guy too. He's so good.
We're all allowed to disdain something a little bit gently sometimes.
Anyway, I love Into the Woods. I love that version of it.
I love that you went back and watched it and let yourself watch it even though your kids didn't like it. Like maybe... Yeah. I think that's important to go back and look at things that meant a lot to you. And
some things do not hold up.
Yeah. And this seems like it definitely
really does
holds up for you.
Oh,
and
it's so fucking good. The princes are so good. Guys, highly recommend. Oh, and you know what? I hope I can tell this story. Oh, well, I guess I'll hear about it if I don't. Tina Fey had seen my post about it, like my Instagram story, and was like, I was at that taping with my best friend.
Oh my God.
We like ran down to the theater and like got tickets at the last second. She was like a teenager.
That's wild.
Isn't that crazy?
That's wild. That's like when they show the Beatles and little Phil Collins is in the audience.
I don't know that.
Have you ever
no
seen that film? I think
but what was that documentary that was like a fake documentary, but Sharon Stone was in it saying that she was like 4 years old at the concert.
Oh my God.
Martin Scorsese made it and it came out maybe during COVID or maybe right before.
About the Beatles?
No, not the Beatles.
The only fake rockumentary that I know is Spinal Tap with the genius Michael McKean.
Right.
Michael McKean's my favorite part of Spinal Tap. So I know there's other people. But this just came out, a fake document. No. I mean, it's probably been like 5 years now. Oh my God. That's how
Remember
long
how
you've been.
time used to matter?
Well, hardly. I hardly remember.
It was like it's like real footage and a fake documentary. Okay, hold on. A guide to all the fake stuff that Martin Scorsese put in his new Bob Dylan documentary, Rolling Thunder Review: What is True and What is Fake. Don't believe everything you see in Martin Scorsese's Bob Dylan documentary. Blurs the line of fiction, much like the music legend himself.
I literally have, this is like one of those things, like that TV show that totally
2019. I was right. 2019.
Completely escaped my notice.
Okay. So there was a big billboard by my old house in LA. So
yeah.
That's why it was on my radar. It was from Netflix. It was like a Netflix documentary.
Okay.
Martin Scorsese made this documentary with a bunch of footage, but he, adds to Dylan's myth by blending a substantive amount, according to this article, of performances, fiction, and behind-the-scenes moments that both defend and further mystify Dylan's genius, but they're made up. It's just made up shit. Like Sharon Stone is like being interviewed, like she's in the documentary, and is talking about how she was like 4 years old, like she has like, or something. Like she's like a kid and goes to see Dylan. It's a totally not true, made up fucking thing. Anyway, we watched. I feel like it's pretty long, and we watched part of it, and I was super into it, and I was really like, oh my God, this is nuts. And then Mark was like, yeah, you know, like half of this shit is fake, right? And I was like, what? No. And then I was so mad that I had been tricked that I was like, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't want to finish it.
Because
I
mean, you know, not to, but you have been tricked by documentary, like a real documentary before.
Wait, what?
You got tricked before by the Tiger Woods dad documentary when you thought it was about the Night Stalker.
Wow.
So like,
but that wasn't his fault. That wasn't his fault.
But
this predated Tiger Woods.
I can't imagine a documentary trying to trick you. How annoyed you would be. One time I was watching a TV show and I was so into it. I thought it was like a crime show, but then it turned out it was like a supernatural monster show, and I was livid. But I was like 3 episodes in before I figured out that all the crimes were being done by monsters.
Is that like when I finally watched Game of Thrones and I was like, no one told me this is a fucking dragon show. This is sci-fi. You guys are watching a fucking sci-fi show. There are like zombies. There are zombies. Why are there zombies? There's zombies and dragons and they live together. Okay. How fucking good can it be?
Oh,
and
my
everybody
God.
was like, what is wrong with you, Busy? You need to calm down. Anyway.
This is bringing me so full circle. I'm going to see if I can try to like sew this up in like this whole story that this is making me think of. Okay, so when we were talking about owning your shit and like admitting to mistakes and working in live TV, how there's a lot of shit to own. I loved working with Andy Cohen because, and I think he would agree with this, he has a little bit of ADHD.
I don't know what that's like.
And I was very accustomed at that point to owning my shit. So whenever I messed something up, when the show was over, I would say, sorry about such and such a thing. That was my bad. And every time he would be like, what are you talking about? And I'd be like, there was a thing and there was a wrong word in the prompter, like the math was wrong or a wrong fact. And he would be like, I already forgot about it. You could have just skated. You could have just gone home and not said a word because I had already forgotten about it. And it was every time, whatever. Cut to, at one point, I worked on the pilot for The Talking Dead, the after show for The Walking Dead.
Great.
Because it was by the same company.
Sure.
And I knew Chris Hardwick at the time. And it was kind of based on the same format as Watch What Happens Live. So it was, in fact, the same format, just transferred to, instead of housewives, it was zombies. And so Andy teased me about it all the time, like you would, and he was like, how's your friend's mummy show going? Like he would and I'd be like, it's a zombie show and it's a smash hit and you know, whatever. But then he eventually got bored with that joke and stopped asking me how my friend's mummy show was going. And you know, and this is like, I know people have feelings about Chris Hardwick. This was all before that. But at some point years later, Chris Hardwick came on Watch What Happens Live, and Andy was just like, didn't mention a thing. But then they did a promo together, like a live hit for the upcoming show, and that ended. And then before Chris stepped off set to go back to his dressing room, he said, you know, Andy, I just want to thank you because I know that this same company sort of took the format of your show and made it into the format for my show, The Talking Dead. And so, you know, without you and without this show, there would be no Talking Dead. And so I just wanted to take a second to acknowledge that and to thank you. And Andy was like, oh, that's so nice. Chris, thank you. That's really sweet. And then Chris was like, and of course, thanks to Caissie because she produced it. But at that point, Andy had forgotten that I did. And so he just looks at me and goes, she did? And
oh my God.
He was like, afterwards, he was like, how did I not know that you produced that Talking Dead pilot. And I was like, well, I mean, the whole company did. A lot of people worked on it. But I was like, don't you remember saying, how's your friend's mummy show going? Like, and he was like, I have no memory of that. I have no
Oh my God.
Anyway, it was just really weird and like, but if you're ever gonna fuck something up or do something like whatever, do it in front of Andy Cohen, because he forgives because he forgets, which is like, that's great. That was an ideal situation.
That is really funny. And she did?
It was so funny to me. And I was like, how do you not have any memory of like, we talked about it so many times.
He just didn't remember.
It just went out of his mind. He just like got bored of that joke. And
sometimes I'm like that too. No. Busy. Are you? No.
Listen, I mean, just the other day on New Year's Day, Matt and I went to Long Beach to like step into the ocean for the first of the year. That's, you know, a thing I guess people do. But I was swearing up and down that he and I had just been there together. And I had the whole scenario. I was like, we were here, we went here, we looked at this, we saw that, we did this. And then like come to find out it was like with the kids like a couple months ago and Matt wasn't there at all. And I had a whole story in my mind. So some people completely forget things. Other people completely invent things. And I'm on team invention.
I'm on both. So that's where I'm at.
Oh my gosh. So this is long story long. You don't really have anything you feel like you're doing your best at this week? TBD.
Hold on, I'm thinking. What are you doing your best at?
I'm really trying to plow my way through these 9 grapefruits. Like our neighbor Esther has a beautiful grapefruit tree and it grew, you know, it grows like over our fence. Don't
get a fucking cold sore again. You're going to
know
COVID.
We're entitled
it's too much citrus.
We're entitled to the 9 grapefruits that are hanging over into our yard. And so far I've only gotten through like 3. Then I had the cold sore and I had to take a break from grapefruits.
The best thing you can do is make ice cubes. Put them in the fucking freezer.
It's true.
Forget about them. When you need grapefruit, a Paloma in the summer, there you go. You got your fresh
We'll have it.
Winter grapefruit.
I have a real problem getting through fruit.
Well, like freezing them is the best move because then they're peak freshness. You got to juice those fuckers and make little ice cubes. That's what you do.
I mean, it feels like, as you say about an orchid, it feels like a job. Like I have 9 free grapefruits.
Not a gift. An orchid is not a gift.
Yeah,
an orchid is a job. And I already have way too many fucking organisms in this home under my roof that are demanding I keep them alive.
You don't need to mother an orchid.
No fucking way. But
anyway. That's me. I'm just trying to get through grapefruits.
Get through that
I'm gonna,
citrus.
like,
great.
If I can get through a couple more, maybe. Then
I'm trying to just chip away one annoying thing a minute.
How's that going?
Great. It's great.
It's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are they annoying things you can say what they are, or are they just private?
I just have so many fucking private annoyances in this moment in my life that I don't even know where to begin.
I hear you. So you have to do like
But you know who's not one?
Who?
Gina Linetti.
She's a sweet girl.
She's over there just passed out.
She's been so good today. Like while we're
so good. You know why? Because she just got back from upstate camp.
So she's exhausted.
Oh, she's exhausted. I had to give her a bath last night. And she's so cute in the bathtub. She's so good at getting bathed. Because I took her to Jess Rona when she was a baby.
Yeah.
And Jess just like, guys, I do want to say this again. If you're going to get your dog groomed, make sure it's a fucking great place. because it makes all the difference between your dog being terrified and being like, oh, okay, I know what this is. I'm going to get clean.
You know
I'm
what
just going to stand
happened
here.
You know what happened to my aunt's dog?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
At a groomer.
No. Oh, no. What?
And
No, don't tell me.
It jumped off the table with like the groomer halter, like the collar.
And choked and died?
Yeah.
Don't talk about it.
And the worst thing is that my aunt was getting the dog groomed so that she could bring the dog to her husband's funeral.
Oh, no, Caissie.
She had a
Why
double.
are we ending on this note?
She had a double death.
Oh, God, that is literally terrible.
It was.
I hate this story.
It was
What a terrible
terrible.
story.
Well, I'm just trying to reinforce your point about make sure it's a good dog groomer.
Don't make a choice based on money when it comes to that.
No.
Also, Jess Rona has amazing YouTube tutorial videos on how to groom your own puppy. So maybe maybe just trust yourself.
I think it's like also like a restaurant. Like make sure you can see the grooming happening out in the open.
100%.
And that there's no
that
secret
is so true.
back grooming room. Because did you ever read that national pet
I don't
chain?
know. Now we're just getting it. We're getting into too many. You're on a tear. I don't know what's happening.
My son
We are not
talk
ending
about
on this note.
It's not funny, but a national pet store chain does grooming in their facilities, and they tried to give someone back their dog, and they had like super glued its ear back on.
No, they had not. No. Caissie, also, like, I tried to super glue my finger, and honestly,
Oh, 'cause you're cut.
oh my God. First of all, I needed a stitch.
You
But
needed because you were bleeding.
Height of coves.
Yeah, you didn't talk about that.
Listen, I cut the shit out of my fucking thumb on Christmas making salad like the character that I play on Girls Five Eva.
They let you
literally
make the
a
salad.
plot point from season 1. I did myself at my parents' house. My job is to make the salad. Every year, I make a fucking beautiful salad. This year, I cut the shit out of my thumb and I needed a stitch. It was so deep. It kept bleeding profusely. I was like, I had
didn't get the
tourniqueted it with Band-Aids.
Right.
And then I was like my sister and I were setting the table and Leanne's like, ew, these plates are dirty. And I was like, ugh, Mom's house. And then I looked down and it was the blood coming through 3 Band-Aids on my thumb on the plates. And I was like, oops, sorry. My mom's like, that's right, Elizabeth. My dishes are clean. I was like, no, Mom, I know your dishes are clean. I was just being an asshole. I didn't know it was my bloody thumb. Anyway,
You
it
need
was
to go to
so
that national pet chain to get
it
your
was
thumb
so
glued right.
deep. And so then I was like, I definitely need a stitch. Should I just glue it back together? Because I read like people do that, right?
Yeah.
So then I asked the question maybe on my Instagram stories, and then people were texting me, and some people were like, yes, my father used to super glue the calluses from his. I was like, oh geez, this is a lot.
God, this is deep.
So then the next day was still bleeding, and I went to Walgreens. But this is Christmas Day now, because that was Christmas Eve that I cut my thumb. So I went to Walgreens, and they didn't have actual medical glue. They only had super glue, like a super glue. And then they had like no scar or something.
Yeah.
That I can't remember what it was. And then Band-Aids. And so I got all of the things that they had.
Okay.
And I was texting with our friend Simran.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know a lot about medical stuff, because Simran worked on like a medical show.
I mean,
as a writer.
You
guys.
did as well.
So,
yeah.
Well, so did I, yes. But I mean, like, the writers have to do so much research and they're always like reading weird medical things.
Yeah.
And so I just figured she would know.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, yeah, probably don't use just the straight up super glue. Like, I don't know, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, I did. And it didn't work really. And it kind of peeled out of my finger the next day. And now, I got to be honest with you, this just doesn't look great.
Oh no.
I might lose part of my thumb. Guys, I'm not convinced that we're out of the woods
no.
yet.
You could have
I
done
mean,
the
look at my
stitch.
skin. Wait, can you see it?
Yeah, it looks a little infected. Yeah,
It's not though. I don't think it's infected. I just don't know what the fuck is happening. It's definitely got the feel of like a very, very intense callus.
Okay. So that's probably like, okay, scientists, correct me if I'm wrong. The glue kind of becomes like part of your skin. Like it kind of, so it sounds like the glue is maybe like still fused to your skin in some parts and didn't peel off yet. But it's just not, it's not shutting the wound. It looks like a little mouth. Just draw 2 eyes over it.
Oh, it definitely looks like a fucking little creepy mouth. It's probably going to start talking to me tonight.
Draw a couple eyes on it. Give it a
What are you
little
doing your best
smoky
at?
eye.
Oh, just like tacking a little mouth on my thumb. Don't worry about it, guys. We're good. Anyway, that
Oh my gosh.
was fun for me.
Well, I'm glad you're surviving so far. Okay.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah. If your thumb starts talking to you, tell it to text me because I want to just talk to it.
Okay.
And then I'll try to help you.
Do not use my thumbs for texting, but okay. It's just so weird. I don't like it.
Yeah, that's the worst feeling. I'd rather be in pain than have something weird or uncomfortable, to be honest.
Well, that's like I always say, I birthed 2 gigantor children out of my vagina with no pain drugs of any kind.
Yeah.
Both times. I don't want a medal. I'm not asking for a medal. I'm not saying I'm better than women that have to have C-sections. Everybody calm the fuck down. What I am saying is that I would take that any day over a minor cold.
Over
I'm
a
not kidding.
hangnail.
Over the hangnail.
A puffy
over
hangnail.
This cut on my thumb.
Yeah, I feel that. I
I just like the mild thing that's just like
a rock in your shoe.
yes.
Yeah. No,
Or something like just poking you repeatedly. Anyway.
I get that. Well,
all right, guys.
I hope your thumb doesn't talk to you.
I hope it doesn't fall off.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't fall off. What do you think would happen to your career if your thumb fell off?
I think I'd get a fake fucking thumb and it'll be fine.
Do you think that?
I do. I actually really do.
Do you think you'd lose out on roles because of having
because I don't put myself up for any roles at this point. So
one fewer thumb?
Yeah. So if I was doing anything, it was because like someone asked me and I was like, yes, I really want to do that. And then,
Or
and also
with,
I don't even really type properly. So I could still write.
Yeah.
And also, I just feel like I would be okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't pose with my thumb in my mouth a lot.
Yeah. It'd be interesting. You don't think about like how your thumb is small, but it's important. But like how would it change your life if it wasn't there anymore?
Yeah. I mean, I think I'd be okay.
Okay. Well, I know
I would be okay.
I feel better. I hope your thumb stays on, but if it does fall off,
it's going to be fine. Caissie,
we'll just go from there.
Caissie is going to. Should I post the 4 minutes and 48-second video of Into the Woods from YouTube last night?
Yeah.
I posted on my Instagram. All right, guys, I'm going to post it and then you'll understand later why.
Yeah. And see how that
I'm just going to wait. I'm going to post it with no comment. And we'll just wait to see who made it to hour 47 of this podcast. Guys, it's time for me to go to bed. I love you so much.
We'd love you very much.
King New Year.
Yeah.
I hope all of your dreams come true in 2022. But at the very least,
2022.
I did not just say 2020. Oh my God. I did not just fucking say 2020.
Went back in
Caissie?
time. It's fine.
Did I just time jump?
You just time jumped, or maybe like your thumb.
Am I back?
You're
Where
you're
are we?
back.
We're 2022 right
this
now.
This is 2022.
Got
yes.
it. Okay.
Yeah. And thank you for being, thank you for coming with us into 2022 and being our friends and
2022. Oh, guys.
It's because it sounds fake.
2022.
It sounds insane and fake.
Listen, don't take a fucking shitty meeting or a fight that you had with someone that you love in the first few days of this year as a sign of things to come for the rest.
Because it's not.
Take it as like Alanis Morissette. That's right. Her name is Alanis now. Like Alanis Morissette famously. It's like rain on your wedding day.
Or a free
Which is
ride.
supposed to be good luck.
When you
Not
already
bad.
paid. I know that's the problem with that song. Like,
That's not ironic.
she should have done her research a little better before. But we love
But
it.
it's just not ironic.
It's a good song. It's a banger.
It's
but
like rain on your wedding day.
she did need to do a little more research into what was irony versus just like inconvenient.
Well, you know, it is actually Canadian irony.
Oh, maybe it's Canadian.
I'm kidding.
It could be Canadian irony. Who knows?
It's Canadian irony. You know, they don't have the same senses of humor that we have. Okay, you guys. And on that note,
We love you.
all
We
I'm saying is that
Alanis
whatever has
Morissette.
happened in these first 5 days of this year,
Yeah.
fuck it.
It's just 5 days.
Only uphill from here. It's 5 days, and it's all.
It's only uphill
It's only
from
been-
here.
It's,
in
it's
2020.
all uphill from here. All right, goodbye. I love you guys.
Good night, Busy.
Oh. All right, goodbye.
Talk to you later. Bye.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing my best.
Oh no.